Okay, sorry about the technology, everybody. If you can hear me now and if you can see the screen, please type yes in the chat box on the right-hand side. Okay, bear with us. Mark is just joining us. Okay, welcome everybody. I am so sorry about the technical challenges. This is the first time that we've used this system together, and there were some technical teething problems. Anyway, we are here now, and Mark is still battling with the technology on his end in Cyprus, but hopefully he'll be with us soon. So my name is Andrew Locke. Thank you for joining me today. Again, if you're just joining us, apologies for the technical challenge there, but we're glad that you made it with us. And of course, we will make this replay available. How to make $59,000 or more every month on autopilot. This is a subject that I really enjoy sharing and teaching, and you'll learn a lot today. So all I request at the start is for you to minimize distractions and to stay until the end. And there's 3 reasons for that. First of all, you're going to learn a lot. Secondly, I'll make you an offer that will benefit your business. And of course, that's entirely optional. If it resonates with you and you're excited about it, then I hope that you take me up on that offer. If it's not for you, I completely understand too. There's no pressure. Either way, you'll learn a lot. And third reason to stay until the very end is that I'm going to give away a really nifty prize, a JBL Flip portable speaker for someone who is present at the end. So let's dive in. And for those of you that don't know me, or perhaps don't know me very well, I'll give you a little bit of background just so you know who I am, who you're listening to. I'm very grateful, as the slide says there today, that life is good. I've been able to accomplish a lot of cool things. And the reality is, as so many people, life wasn't always like that. It wasn't always good. I've been through some hard times, and maybe you'll relate to my situation. I grew up in a little town on the south coast of England, outside London, and so I'm a fellow Brit. And for many years, I worked as a TV camera operator, and I enjoyed it. It was rewarding, but it wasn't very well paid. And we lived in a tiny 1-bedroom apartment. You can see pictured there with the rubbish dump in the foreground, in a bad neighborhood. And we were really poor. We were worrying about money constantly. I was miserable, and it was frustrating. It was actually very depressing. So maybe you can relate to that. There were certainly times when I would lie in bed, not being able to think about anything but the mountain of bills that I had to deal with. And actually, it was like this image here, drowning in a sea of debt, because we were being hounded by debt collectors. They were threatening all kinds of legal action. And frankly, I didn't know where to turn. So it was frustrating. Well, things came to a head in 2003 when we lost our house. This is where we were living at the time. And we had to sell everything, including our home, to pay the debts. It was really depressing. And in my heart, I knew I could do better, because I was barely making about $20,000 a year, which is like a week's pay now. What a contrast. But when you know that you can, in your heart, that you're capable of more, you should be earning more. That's very frustrating. So it was a crossroads in my life. I knew I could wallow and blame others, or I could get proactive, do things smarter, and turn my life around. Well, fortunately, I chose the latter, and Lucy and I decided to move to the States, somewhere that we had really wanted to move to, having worked there over the years beforehand on different projects. And so we sold all our remaining possessions. We packed up just 2 suitcases. That's all we owned at that time. We had got rid of everything else. And we moved to Los Angeles, California, with a small 1-bedroom apartment. And interestingly, one of the first things that I did there was I attended a seminar in Washington, D.C. And I'll never forget this, because it changed my life. It was all about making money online, and I couldn't even afford to buy a ticket. So I contacted the promoter and asked if I could film the event in trade for a ticket. And to my surprise and delight, he agreed. So that worked out. And this online business seminar opened up a world of opportunities for me, because at the event I was offered a beginner's training course that I couldn't afford, but I realized that I had to do what successful people do and invest in themselves, invest in myself. And nervously, I put it on my credit card. But in hindsight, that was the day that changed my life, because I devoured every line of the course. I found a mentor, which I think is really important, to have someone to help you. And with his encouragement, I eventually discovered some other ways really easy ways to make money online, and I developed those. The rest, as they say, is history, and I was able to take my online expertise to the next level with what I'm going to show you today, which has given me both reliable income and true financial freedom. So my life has been absolutely transformed. I've gone from broke with just a few bucks in the bank to being financially free. I work whenever I want to, from wherever Lucy and I want to live or travel around the world. And I also enjoy doing this. I enjoy helping other people to get out of the rat race. I'm very passionate about supporting people who have been in the same desperate situation as I have been, and just don't know what the right vehicle is to be able to make money online. So now I think Mark is back with us, and again, sorry about the technical difficulties at the start. That's technology for you. I do want to mention that depending on the speed of your internet connection, that will have an effect on the picture quality that you see, and sometimes even the audio quality too. So if you are doing other things online, like checking email, or if someone else in the house is watching a movie or anything like that online, that will affect the quality of the webinar, the quality of the image and the audio that you see. Okay, so that's just a little clarification. If you can minimize other internet usage, that will help you greatly. Okay, so if you've been to one of my other trainings, you may recall that there are two types of income that everybody needs. And just before I share with you what those two types of income are, I want to make it clear that what the story that I gave you, I want that to have an effect on you, because I want you to realize that if you have struggled, or you are struggling, or failing, or have failed in business or life, and I know Mark will agree with this, it's not your fault. You're not defined by your past failures. Okay, these things happen. It took me years to figure out what was the best vehicle to actually make money. There was a lot of things that I came across and tried that didn't work, but finally found something that does work. And so that's no reflection on you. If you've had failures, it's not your fault. It happens. You're not defined by your past failures or mistakes. Okay. So the two types of income that everybody needs are, first of all, CFI, cash flow income. This is the money that pays your monthly bills, and we're all familiar with that. It's what most people earn to be able to survive. But beyond that, if you really want to start building wealth, and why wouldn't you, you need another type of income, and that is this: RRI, reliable recurring income. And that's the income that comes in reliably. So it's predictable. It's it's going to happen. And recurring means over and over and over and over again every month. And income, of course, money. So the money that comes in basically on autopilot. And for me, that's allowed me to build my own multi-million-dollar high-definition TV studio in Salt Lake City, which is where we live now. And it's a beautiful facility designed from the ground up. And of course, this probably makes sense to you given my story, my background as a camera operator. It was one of my ambitions to own my own TV studio, which I have achieved now. And so this is what reliable recurring income has enabled me to do, one of the things. And of course, I'll show you some other pictures here too of the facility. There's also a training center in the same building. And it's where I do my regular web TV show called Help, My Business Sucks. And that's a free video podcast, web TV show to help small business owners with their marketing. So check that out if you haven't watched it. As I say, it's completely free for you to benefit from. So I hope that you would agree that reliable recurring income is worth having. For me, it enabled me to create the studio, get my show to the #1 spot on iTunes, and many other things. So you've seen what it's done for me. What will it do for you? Well, in essence, in a nutshell, this is what it means to you. It means that every single month without fail, you have a big wad of cash come into your bank account and you just can't stop it, which is a wonderful thing. Every month, automagically, as I like to call it, reliable, recurring income over and over and over again, predictable. And it's a completely different way of living compared to what most people do, which is trading time for money. So how did I come across this breakthrough? Well, actually, before I do that, I would like to get your feedback, just to sort of get a gauge on you as the audience. And if you look on the right-hand side, I'm going to start a little poll here. And this simple question: do you currently have a membership site? So if you click on whichever response is appropriate for you, and I'll let that go for a minute or so, and then I'll share the results. Okay, do you currently have a membership site? I see the numbers coming in. Okay, let's have a look here. As I would have expected, 85% of you don't and 15% of you do. So whatever the case is, for those of you that do, I'll share some tips that will help you make the most of the site that you have. For those of you that haven't, this will be a real breakthrough for you when you understand the power of membership sites. Okay. So the breakthrough for me came about when I worked in the entertainment industry, because I realized that musicians get paid over and over and over again for the work that they did one time. Musicians get paid over and over for the work they did one time in writing a song. So every time a song is played that they wrote, or if it's used on the radio or even performed by someone else, the writer gets paid. It's the biggest reason why artists that write songs get so wealthy. That's where the money comes from. So I spent years cracking the code for another type of reliable recurring income online, and that is this. Membership sites are, in my opinion and experience, the #1 method for creating reliable recurring income using the internet. Membership sites are the #1 method for creating reliable recurring income using the internet. So your membership site pays you over and over and over again without stop for the work that you did to set it up at the beginning. And I've created 5 membership sites over the years since I developed this strategy on all different topics, both business and consumer related topics. So I do practice what I preach. This is the heart of my business, and this is how I've managed to make a lot of money, have a lot of time off, about 8 months every year, and build that multi-million-dollar studio. So let's start from the basics here and work up. So first of all, what are membership sites and why should you have one? Well, I have a very simple definition for you that hopefully will make it a little bit clearer. First of all, a membership site is a private, members-only website where a community of like-minded people happily pay you a subscription fee every month to access quality information and a community. A private, members-only website where a community of like-minded people happily pay you a subscription fee every month to access quality information and a community. So now a question that comes up when I share this definition is this. Why do many people choose to pay to belong to a membership site when the internet has lots of free information? If you were thinking that same question, if that popped into your mind, type in yes in the chat box on the right-hand side, just so I know. It is something that usually people say, or at least some people. So I do want to address this to get it cleared up for you. So if that's something you were wondering, type in yes in the chat box on the right-hand side. All right, the answer is actually very simple. And that is that there are two types of people. Okay. Now, let me illustrate it this way. If someone recommends a book to you, you could do one of two things if you want the book. First of all, you could go to the library. You could see if they have it available. If they don't, maybe order it from the librarian, and they might say, well, you know, we have that in about 6 weeks. So you go back in 6 weeks' time, borrow the book for a couple of weeks, take it back, and that's how you consume the book. Another type of person, when they get a book recommendation, would simply go on a site like Amazon, order it overnight, not worried about the cost, and have it delivered the next day. Now, which of those people is right? Well, both of them, because it's just a different choice, isn't it? And this is the point online. It's very similar. There are some people who are content to browse public forums, spend a lot of time researching and so on. And there are also a lot of people who they don't want to do that. They just want to pay to get plugged into the best of the best. Just give me the pre-researched best information you have on this. It's the same reason why some people don't buy courses online and just kind of, you know, fudge their way through and make lots of mistakes compared to people who pay for someone else's experience and hand-holding to guide them through the process. Okay, so that's the reason why many people are members of membership sites. Is the information available out there somewhere? Well, yeah, very fragmented in lots of different places, and you wouldn't necessarily know which is the good, what can be relied upon or not. So anyway, that's the point. I think I made the point for you. Okay, so in any business, there are people, or any subject, there are people who are quite happy to pay for the privilege of just getting plugged into the best source. You know, if you've spent time on public forums, you'll know that most of them deteriorate very quickly into, you know, negative, you know, shouting at each other, calling each other's names, very, you know, like children, really. And of course, you know, you don't know who you can trust. So that, you know, that puts a lot of people off. And, you know, and like I say, there's two different types of people, not right or wrong, just different ways that different people consume information. Okay. Now, membership sites or memberships, I should say, in the real world are very popular, like a gym or automobile club or Costco. Those are all examples of memberships. Now, memberships are nothing new. They've existed for decades. The difference that we're talking about today, of course, is just memberships online, okay, using the internet. So let me give you some examples. Ancestry.com charges $20 a month to help you research your genealogy, your family tree. eHarmony.com will help you find a mate for $30 a month. And WeightWatchers.com has an entry level of $19 a month to help you lose weight. Now, all of these sites are doing extremely well, as you can see from these numbers of members and profits. They're in the hundreds of millions or even $1 billion. So this is a proven concept. Now, as I said, these are all kind of big businesses. So what about the little guys like you and us, is it possible for us to generate even a fraction of a percentage, which would be a lot of money, of these sites? Well, yeah, absolutely. Let me give you some examples of people like you and me. First of all, contractorselling.com. They charge $89 a month, and it's a site for basically builders, contractors, to help them grow their business and run it more efficiently. Dogproblems.com charges $20 a month to help fix dogs' behavior problems. Okay, so if that's a need, people come across this site, and it helps them with regular updates and support. And then restaurantowner.com is another business-to-business site. Again, it helps restaurant owners run a more profitable business. And you can see the price there for that one. So these are real-world examples of people just like you and me, small business owners who have created a site on a particular niche or niche topic. From my own business, I have a whole range of price points and topics. I mentioned that earlier. And Ultimate Video Vault, as an example, is like Netflix for business. It's the world's largest video training library to help you with different business skills. And I have many others too. So I do practice what I preach. So now, 8 reasons why a membership site, in my experience, is the best online business model. And these are really important reasons to understand, because when you compare these benefits to other types of businesses, this is, really reinforcing why this is such a good thing to seriously think about. So first of all, it gives you that reliable recurring income. Most other businesses, even internet businesses, are more opportunistic. So in other words, you make some money, but then if you stop, you're not going to get any more money. With a membership site, the revenue continues. Anyone can do it. There's no barrier to entry. It's, literally anybody on this call can do it. There is no limitations imposed. You don't have to be a member of an association. You don't have to have qualifications or anything like that. It gives you the facility to do what you love, to do what you're passionate about. So it's not work. It's very low cost to get started, and I'll show you that. You can live and travel anywhere. That's what I do. We travel about 8 months of the year. I know this is a big thing for Mark too. He likes to live and travel wherever he wants to. And so it's freedom. If you particularly enjoy traveling, or you want to live somewhere else, you can live anywhere where there's an internet connection. You don't need any employees. I run all of these sites just with myself and my wife. I outsource certain tasks, but I don't have any employees because you don't need them. It's very simple. You can sell it later for lots of money. Many membership sites attract investors and buyers who are willing to pay 6 to 8 times the annual income, not even the net profit, but the gross income. They'll pay 6 to 8 times for a good site. So you can make a lot of money. So 6 to 8 times what you're making a year when you come to sell it. Very, very profitable. And lastly, there really is the opportunity to make big money, as I'll show you. So now I'd like to get your feedback on these 8 reasons. Let me load another poll here. And if you look on the right-hand side of your screen, you've got some boxes. So the chat window is the default one. But if you look across from chat window, there should be one that says polls, and you should be able to see the poll there. And I'd like to know from you, which of those benefits most appeals to you that I went through of those 8. So which of the, obviously, most people would choose multiple ones, but which single one is the most appealing to you out of all of those? And I'll give you a minute to just submit your response, and then we'll compare notes. So I'm going to go quiet for a second while everybody votes. Okay, good. That gave me an opportunity to have a little drink. It's very dry here too in Salt Lake City. Let's have a look at the results here. So yeah, as I would have expected, the reliable recurring income is the one that most of you wanted. And also the ability to live and travel anywhere. I completely agree with those results. That's the two that I would, my first and second choice. All right, thanks for sharing there. So here's how it works. I'll give you an example here. Very kind of conservative example. When you get 34 members paying you $29 a month, if you were to just do that for 1 month and then stop, you'd have a reliable recurring income of $1,000 every month. Okay, does that make sense? When you get 34 members paying you $29 a month and then stop, you'll have a reliable recurring income of $1,000 every month. Now, of course, do you get people drop out occasionally? Yes. So, bear that in mind, but obviously I'm just keeping the figures straightforward for you. Now, if we were to not stop at the end of a month, but actually continue and get another 34, let's call it one a day, one member a day, paying you same figure, $29 a month. What happens is this exponential curve. So if you continue to get new members in, then your reliable recurring income in a year is $11,000 every month. So just in 12 months' time, at this very low number of one member a day, I mean, I'm going to show you how to get 30, 50, 100 members a day. But I'm talking about just one member a day to kind of keep the figures realistic for you. Otherwise you won't believe me. Continue to get 34 members a month. So if you do that in a year, your reliable recurring income is $11,000 every month. Now that is exciting because that is money that comes in on autopilot, just like the checks from or for musicians who wrote a song all those years ago. Every month they still get paid. Now this is where it gets really exciting. Let me bump up the number a little bit here. The number, the price that you charge, because I showed you up to $100. Of course, it depends on the niche. But if you were to get 34 members or one a day, roughly at $49 a month, in 3 years, your reliable recurring income will be $59,000 every month. And a little bit later, I'll show you someone who's doing significantly more than this. So I know these numbers may seem high if you're just starting out, or if you're trading time for money right now. In other words, you have a regular job or you've dabbled in working online. It's going to be difficult, I know, for you to understand or comprehend these numbers. But I'm telling you at the same time that these numbers are really low compared to what is possible. Of course, not everybody's going to do this because not everybody puts the same effort in at the start to, not everybody has a system to follow or assistance. So I'm not saying that this is what you'll do. I'm saying that this is not only entirely possible, I'm saying that many people, including students of mine, have surpassed this. Okay. So it is very, very exciting. So now that you've seen proof of how this process works, how can you do it? Let's get into the how stage. I've basically broken it down into 4 easy steps, and we'll go through each of these steps in turn. So first of all, you need to choose a topic, a niche, or niche, as we say in England. Secondly, you need to pick a platform. Third, add the content. And then lastly, attract members. Okay, so those are the 4 steps in the process. Okay, let's go through each of these in turn. So first of all, choose a topic. What topic will you choose? Well, this is something that I provide parameters for. First of all, it needs to be a niche within a popular market. So a market is a broad topic like sports. A niche or niche is something specific like scuba diving. A market is broad like cooking. A niche is something specific like gluten-free recipes. Okay, I'm gluten-free and dairy-free because of allergies. And so, you know, that's a type of site that I'd be interested in. But if someone was offered a cooking site, it's too broad, it's too general, it's not of interest to me. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So you've got to pick a niche within a market. Niche is something specific, a specific topic. Secondly, it needs to be something that you're passionate about, because that will, first of all, enable you to do it and enjoy it without it seeming like work. And also to your members, they will sense that you're passionate and enjoy it, and you'll be, you know, they'll understand that this is something that you've created this site because it is something that you want to share and you want to engage with others about. So those are two parameters. And in terms of ideas for you, here's some broad categories of markets: business and finance, self-improvement, health, sports, dating, relationships, food and cooking, hobbies and skills. All of these are proven. Now, it's not to say that other types of topics wouldn't work. And these are, again, markets. You'd have to choose something specific within each of these topics. But these are all proven. There are countless membership sites on specific topics within these. These are all proven. So if you pick one of these to start with, then you will be good to go. But how do you pick a topic? Well, it's again something that people need help with. And in my course, I take them through a very specific system that's scientific and proven. But just to give you an example of how this process works so that anybody can pick a good topic, good niche. First of all, 3 questions to help you narrow your niche. Question number 1, what type of activities do you enjoy? In other words, what are your hobbies and interests? Okay, that's a great clue as to what type of membership site you could start. So if you go rock climbing on most weekends, think about starting a membership site about that. If you go to a club for people that restore old cars, then again, that's a good clue for a membership site. Hobbies and interests, activities that you enjoy doing. Question number 2, what do others seek your help with? What do people always seem to approach you to help them with? You know, are you known for someone who, you know, if you have people over for a meal, are they always asking you for your recipe because you're such a good cook? Do people ask you for your help in repairing their computer? You have a reputation for that. Do people ask you to take a look at their car because it has a whirring noise and they know that you're good with cars? What do others seek your help with? All good clues for starting a membership site. Question number 3, what are the topics of the magazines and books you read? Again, these are built-in clues, ready-made membership site topics. In fact, if there's a magazine in a you know, we call it a newsagent in England, but if you go to your bookstore and you see a magazine on a topic that you're thinking about for a membership site, I can tell you that that's already a proven winner. If there exists a magazine on the topic, then just go right ahead, because the fact that there are buyers for those magazines means there will be buyers for a membership site. So that's a few questions to help you get started, and of course, something to think about. But you should be able to create a list of topics and then narrow down that list based on research to clarify and establish what the demand is online. Step 2 is to pick a platform. What is a platform? What do we mean by that? Well, membership sites need the ability to, first of all, enroll members, manage members, and then deliver the content. Those 3 key functions. And the platform is just a specialist type of website that does that for you. Okay. So a lot of people use WordPress for websites, but WordPress itself isn't a membership site. You would need a different type of website platform in order to create a membership site. Okay, but that's what we're talking about with a platform. And there's loads of options. In fact, so many options, it's really confusing. And I did the evaluation of all of these different types of options. And what I found is, which I'm happy to share with you, is basically there's 2 options that are reliable, that have been around for years, that are well supported, and that have good good support. So if you run into challenges. And they are MemberGate and Wishlist. Those 2 are my recommended or recommendations. I don't have any vested interest in either of these. I do know the owners of each of these companies. And like I say, they're reliable. They both offer slightly different options. Wishlist is actually a plugin for WordPress. And MemberGate is a standalone system that has everything you need built in. And the good news is you can get started for under $200. So if you're wondering how much it costs to build your own membership site, that's the answer right there. Step 3 is to add content. Okay, you need to have good quality content for your members. And there's 3 options to do that. First of all, you could create it yourself. Secondly, you could buy it from other people, or you can get it for free from others or various resources online. Okay, so 3 ways to get content. You don't need to create it all yourself. You can acquire it from other people, or a combination of all those. There's 6 types of content that I've found to be very effective in membership sites that members really love. And you don't need them all. My suggestion is just to pick 3. Articles. This is like a magazine article. If you think of a 1-page magazine article, written text, same thing can be done online in a membership site. Audio. It's very simple these days to create an audio recording, plug a mic into your computer, or an interview with someone, an expert, for example. Anybody that's promoting a book right now is very easy. They will give you an interview for free, and that's great content right there for a membership site. Video, same principle applies. One of the things about video, coming back to the previous slide of how to create content, you can, of course, create this yourself, but even better, you can acquire videos from other sources. For example, did you know that it's perfectly legal and acceptable to find videos on YouTube that are good quality, use the embed code below the video, just click on the embed button, and include that in a page on your membership site for your members, and members love it. No one ever complains that it was from YouTube, because you're the one that found it and filtered it and recommended it to them and gave it to them in the membership site. And like I said, it's completely free to do that, to leverage the work that someone else has done, spending hours or days creating those high quality videos. So that's a way to get content legitimately for free. You do not need to be creating all the content for your membership site. Next type of content is news. Everybody wants to know what's new in this, not in this topic, in the world of this niche that you've chosen. Surveys. asking your members, what are your opinion about this, or giving them polls. How would you vote on this topic? They love to be included in that way. And then, of course, you can share the results, just like I did with the poll in this webinar. And then forums, of course, this is a way that they can directly interact and engage with each other. And members love to do that, to share notes, compare, ask each other questions, and so on. The fourth step is to attract members. Now, here's the good news. There are 3.1 billion internet users, or as I like to think of them, potential members for your site. And of course, you can make a lot of money, as I already established, with just 34 members, or one a day. So it is easy to get one a day. You should be aiming for a lot higher, but I wanted to show you those lowball numbers just to build your confidence in what's possible. There's 6 easy ways to get new members. And again, you don't need to do all of them. Just pick the 2 that resonate with you and focus on those. In fact, a good friend of mine has a membership site, very, very successful, hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. He only uses one of these methods, and I'll tell you which one it is as we go through. So a YouTube video promoting your site, or YouTube videos, very easy to do. You don't even need to do it yourself. You can get someone on Fiverr to create promotional videos for you. And with the right keywords, those will get picked up on YouTube. Facebook ads. Facebook is a Goliath of advertising now, very inexpensive, very easy to target specific types of people with specific interests. That's why it works so well. And the person that I was referencing earlier, this is what he uses solely to fill his membership site with many thousands of members. Article marketing. Just as you can acquire articles for free, you can contribute articles for article directories. And then when someone uses your article on their site, you get a link back to your membership site. You'll pick up members that way. Forum comments. If you go to public forums that are popular, and every topic has forums, you can create a signature with a link back to your membership site. Guest blog posts. Find the active, busy, popular blogs in the same or similar topic, and then offer to do a blog post. And again, that gives you a link back to your site. Members referring other members. Once you have a few members, it's easy to get more members just by reminding members that it's a good thing to refer other members. Of course, you can have an incentive to do that too if you like. So there are many ways to get new members. You don't need them all. Just pick 2, the 2 that resonate with you. They all work. They're all effective. And that initial target of 1 a day is extremely easy to reach using these methods. So in review, those are the 4 easy steps to success. Choose a topic, pick a platform, add content, and then attract members. Those are the 4 logical steps in that order. So here's a question for you. Having reviewed the process that's needed, how would you like me to personally help you create reliable recurring income for you via a membership site? Well, I hope the answer is yes, because that's what I'm going to offer you. And it's a brand new opportunity for 24 people that can change your life. If you apply it and you work with me and follow what I ask you to do, which is all very simple, it will change your life. So what is it? Well, it's the ultimate step-by-step system for generating reliable recurring income. And it's a 12-week program. Each week, I'm going to guide you through the process, and you can go at your own pace. Okay, so I'll cover everything that's needed each week with you. But if you can't accomplish the task in that week, it doesn't matter, because it's just to have a schedule to follow for those that want to stick rigidly to it. So if it takes you longer, I'll continue to work with you, and that's fine. It's all online, as you'll see pictured here, and it's big videos that you'll see me walk you through the steps, and you'll click where I show you to click and so on to create this. It's called the Membership Site Success System. I'm very proud of it, and it's already helped many people to establish profitable membership sites. So what it's going to do for you is it will get you up and running fast with a membership site. It'll have everything you need to receive reliable recurring income. And that's what a system is. It's proven because I've done it many times myself. Who is it right for? Well, if you're motivated by the opportunity to generate reliable recurring income for yourself and your family, and you're willing to invest a few hours a week to get it going. Minimum would be 3 hours a week. If you have more time, it just means you're going to make money faster. Who is it not right for? Well, it's important to clarify that, frankly, if you're down to your last few dollars, or you're not willing to spend a few hours a week to create your reliable recurring income, then what you really need, just being frank about it, is probably a job, that's reliable and get the cash flow income going first. Let's have a look at what others have done. Because it's one thing for me to say it, but it's another thing for you to see it for yourself. Tenniscoaching.com. This was a student from Australia. They had an offline business as tennis coaches. And using my system, they found a brand new domain name called tenniscoaching.com. Can you believe that was available? So they just registered that and built this site around it. And a lot of their content is high quality YouTube videos that other people have created. So again, they haven't had to create this content from scratch. Obviously, they're adding to it, they're supplementing, and they're including their opinions about those videos and so on. And support, of course, and a community. BizBubble helps people go from the very early stages of an idea for a business to getting it established. Restaurant Owner, I mentioned earlier, helps restaurant owners run a more profitable business. There's guides and templates and forms to help them. Yoga Universe is an online yoga studio. Bouncy Castle Owner, talk about a niche. This is a friend of mine in England who is a bouncy castle owner and wanted to help other bouncy castle owners to make more money from renting their bouncy castles. And he does very well with that site. Stress Reduction Resources, very self-explanatory. And again, it's a very specific niche for people that need help reducing stress. Note Investing Club. This is a student that just literally went through my course the last time that I offered it. One of the 24, because I only work with 24 people at a time, because there's all my one-on-one support. And it's a very specific type of investing. I don't really understand that world, but they did the research process. They found there was a demand, and they built a nice membership site around that topic. Tahiti Dance Online, a very specific. I hope you can see that these niches are so incredibly diverse. Really important to understand that any topic can be a good membership site if it's a specific niche. Okay, and I want to show you, I alluded to it earlier, one of these people is doing extraordinarily well. And again, I'm not promising that you'll do this, but it shows the potential. It shows that it absolutely is possible. A couple of comments from other people before I show you the dollar figure. Andrew's been a great support. This is from a student. He is prompt with his responses whenever I have a question, and he is a reassuring and encouraging presence as I'm growing my business. He also asked the right questions to challenge me to progress further along my path to success. It's clear that Andrew genuinely wants success for me as a student. Okay, I appreciate that. And I share this with you along with this comment to show you that I really do support you. I really do work with you one-on-one, which of course is a lot of my time, but I'm happy to do it because when I see the results, I'm helping people to get out of the rat race and get this reliable recurring income. It's a wonderful thing. Okay, so another comment there. Super ongoing support. Very proud of the support that I give. So here's what one of these people is doing per month. 334,000. Now, again, I'm not promising you'll do this, but it shows that it is possible. But even if you were to do a fraction of this, I think you'd be pretty happy. The lower numbers that I talked about at the beginning of, 11,000 a month or, around that. So, when I titled this webinar, I thought about titling it 334,000, but of course, most people wouldn't even believe me. That's what, excuse me. That's why I went for a much lower number. And, the proof of the pudding, of course, is in doing it for yourself, which is what I want to help you achieve. Some questions that people ask me about this training. How long do you have access for? Very briefly, there's no time limit. I'm going to release a new module each week for 12 weeks, but you can start and stop whenever you like. So if you can't get to it right now, it will be available to you forever. You get unlimited access. Another question that comes up is, do I need technical skills? Again, you do not need technical skills because I'm going to show you exactly what to do. And if there's a very specific task to implement that does involve something that you're not comfortable doing, then I'll show you how to outsource that for just a few dollars too. It's a step-by-step system. Anybody can do this if you know how to surf the internet. Question number 3 that comes up, how soon can I start? Well, I'm happy to say tomorrow. That's when I start the new 12-week program. What would happen if you said no? It's a good question to think about because the answer is absolutely nothing. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to happen in your life to get reliable recurring if you say no. Think about that. So now, as you can imagine, when you have something this powerful, of course, it doesn't come without a significant investment because I'm showing you how to make a lot of money every month, not just as a one-time benefit, but every single month. So here's something I know to be true. If it were possible for me to jump in a time machine with you today and show you your future 6 months from now and show you $50,000 richer than you are today, that's where you're at, then of course you wouldn't hesitate to invest $10,000 with me today to get there. Now, it's not going to be $10,000, but I wanted to make that point because I know that that's what's possible. Of course, the only question mark is with you. So say yes to this offer, and the burden is on me to make sure you succeed. You're going to get me as part of this deal because I'm going to personally help you to become the proud and happy owner of your new money-making membership site. So ultimately, it all comes down to one word. This is what I found in talking to students, both that said yes and both that said no. This is the word belief. Belief. So either you don't believe me and what I've told you, even though I've tried to provide proof every step of the way, or you don't believe yourself. You don't believe that you can do it. You believe that somehow you are different. Well, let me tell you, I believe in you. You can do this. So even if you don't believe in yourself, I believe in you because I've helped every student that has been willing to follow the instructions to be successful. I believe in you. You can do this. So just imagine, what would an extra 1,000 or to merely 10,000 a month of reliable recurring income mean to you? How would that change your life? What would you do with that money every month? Okay. And I've shown you, of course, that it's possible to make a lot more than this, but if it was just this low, very low number, that would still change a lot of people's lives, and possibly you included in that. So if you're ready to make a drastic change in your life, if you're ready for financial freedom, if you're ready to provide everything you dream of for your family, and if you're ready to finally see success, I can and will help you. But you have to make the first move to invest and allow me to help. That's the only thing that I can't do for you. So I'm going to ask you now to do what I did in 2003. Remember, I was at that seminar. I was broke. I couldn't afford it, but I went all in to buy a training course at a seminar. That was a defining moment in my life. And it all, everything changed from there. So what do you get? Well, here's what's included. The membership site success system is a 12-week program with me personally. Now, I normally sell that for $2,500. That is the regular price. I'm also going to give you access to the Ultimate Video Vault, because I believe that that's another component that will give you a rounded out business business skills on all aspects of business. It has everything in there that you could possibly need. And just 3 years access of that comes out at $970, but I'm going to give you lifetime access. Then email support with me. I charge $500 an hour for consulting. I only open that up about twice a year. Normally it's closed, but when I do, $500 an hour. So I've put a very conservative estimate, considering I'm working with you for 12 weeks, of just $750. So that's a low number, but just to make you see the value of what I'm providing here. So that adds up to $4,220. Okay. Now, I'm not going to charge you for the email support. I'm going to give you that for free. So it's not going to be $4,220. I'm giving you the email support for free with this special webinar offer today. I'm also going to give you for free the lifetime access to Ultimate Video Vault. You'll never pay for that, and that will be worth at least $970, but possibly many thousands of dollars over the years that you use and benefit from that colossal Netflix of business training. And you'll be delighted to know that I'm also not going to charge you $2,500 for the main training program with me. Like I said, there's only 24 members available, so this is a fixed limitation, but I want it to be a no-brainer for you. I've shown you what I normally charge, so I've proven the value to you. Here's the deal. If you invest with me and you're willing to follow my steps, follow the process, the investment today with this special webinar with Mark is just going to be $1,490. $1,490. So it is significantly less than I charge normally for just the training on its own. You get all these other benefits for $1,000 off the main price. You get the Ultimate Video Vault lifetime access for free. You get unlimited support with me. You can ask me any questions you like about any aspect of this. You can also spread the payments over 3 payments. There's a little bit of more for an administration fee included in that. What I'm going to do on the right-hand side here is under pop-in, the offer will appear. You can click on that where it says the orange button. Yes, I want a profitable membership site under pop-ins for this limited period. Like I said, there's only 24 available for you. That's a fixed limitation. You can also spread the payments. You can also go to membershipcourse.com. Now, I suggest that you write that down, because when this webinar disappears, obviously you won't have access, or you may forget the name of that site. So membershipcourse.com. You can either click on the orange button on the right hand side, or you can go to membershipcourse.com. Either way will work for you, and it is the lowest price offer for this course. Like I said, I can only accept 24 people maximum, so it's a very strict limitation, and it's first come, first served. I am looking forward to working with you. It is really fun to see people create these sites from scratch and see the revenue coming in, because it changes your life. You'll never look back once this starts. So I hope that you'll act quickly to be one of the first 24, and after that I will have to cut it off. Again, the investment is $14.90, or 3 payments of $5.70 if you prefer to split the payments. There's a little bit of an administration fee to cover the processing of those payments with that option, but the choice is yours, the full pay or 3 payments. Either way, it is the lowest price that you'll ever see this for, because of this special webinar with Mark. Now, Mark, are you able to join us again? I know you had some technical challenges at the start.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Thank you, Andrew. And thank you, everyone, for being on this webinar. So the website is membershipcourse.com. Take advantage of this fantastic opportunity to work here very personally with Andrew, who will guide you through the steps you need to have your own successful membership site. Andrew, what a great webinar. Thank you very much for the content. You actually are giving me lots of great ideas here. I've had a membership site at 5kmastermind.com that I set up a few years back, and it was amazing. It might have been the easiest money I've ever made.
Yeah.
And the most fun as well, because you got to really create a community of people and help them every step of the way. The interesting thing about membership sites I found is this, that you can get people joining a membership site for just a few. You could say to them, like you mentioned, about like for $5, try it out for 30 days. And you gave so many great strategies today on how to do that with a Facebook ad, drive traffic with Facebook ads, with YouTube videos, with article marketing, etc. And just if you can get just one new member per day, think about how life-changing that's going to be. So, Andrew, thank you again very much for this content. I think this is a fantastic opportunity. So everyone on this webinar, go to membershipcourse.com to check it out. That's membershipcourse.com. And Andrew, I look forward to seeing you at one of our live events, whether it's in the US or back in the UK. And everyone on this call as well, look forward to seeing you very soon on one of our live events.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I'm happy to stay on a little bit longer to answer any questions that come up. And of course, I do need to do the draw for the prize too. So feel free to stay if you're able to, but if you have a commitment, I completely understand, Mark.
Oh, well, only to my wife, who's who's upstairs waiting. It's almost 11 at night. And we've got 2 babies on the way, yes.
So yeah, good to speak to you, Mark. Again, sorry about the technical challenges at the start, but I'll stay and answer questions. And
fantastic. Great. Thank you, Andrew. Anybody who has any questions for Andrew, of course, please just type them into the chat box right now. And then, I'll see you all very soon.
Thanks, Mark. And then we'll do the draw as well. So
I'll be online a little bit longer, and I'll be typing in some answers if need be. If anybody has some questions for me as well. Again, Andrew, thank you very much, and we'll speak over the next few days.
Sounds good. So I do want to mention the guarantee again. You saw it on the screen here. The guarantee is very simple, and it's a very bold guarantee that you won't see other people offer. Here's how confident that I am that this will work for you. Go through the 12-week training with me, and if you follow my instructions but don't make at least twice your investment back within 90 days of launching your site, I'll refund every penny of your investment. Okay, so very straightforward, and I hope that you can see that I've taken away any risk for you with that. Now, if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer those questions, and then we'll do the draw. If you have questions, type them into the chat box on the right-hand side so that I can see them, and I'll answer them for you. One other thing that I wanted to mention for you or to you is, as another benefit of joining this 12-week program, I mentioned earlier that I have become friends with the owners of both MemberGate and Wishlist. They're both excellent platforms. Now, neither of those platforms offer discounts to the general public. You won't find coupon codes online or any discounts. They have a strict policy on that. However, when you join the course, you will get access to a discount that is substantial. Now, the two platforms are very different. MemberGate is an all-in-one system. They also design the website for you. Okay, the look and the feel of it, they design that as part of their fee. It has everything built into one system that you need. Okay, now MemberGate normally charges $4,000. It's the gold standard, the premium membership site platform out there, and it has been for many years. Now, if you become a member of my training program, the discount that you'll get from me for MemberGate will cover your entire fee for the training. Okay, so that's a huge benefit for you right there if you choose to go with MemberGate. Wishlist is a plugin for WordPress. It's also very good. Now, I use both of these for different types of sites. Wishlist is a plugin for WordPress, which is free. Wishlist is $200. However, there is a lot more involved in setting it up. Okay. You, of course, need to do the design and the install, and there's some other components that you'll need, like an email autoresponder, a way to accept payments, and so on. And I'll help you with those things. But if you want the fastest way to get up and running, it's definitely MemberGate. And it's also extremely rock solid and reliable. Occasionally, there'll be challenges with Wishlist through no fault of their own, but just because WordPress has updates and changes, and it takes a few days for Wishlist to come into line with those. So like I said, I use and benefit from both of these platforms, which is why I can recommend them to you. They're just different pros and cons for each one, and some of it may come down to your financial situation as to what you can afford. I'll help you get started with either one, and I recommend both of them. But that's a huge benefit as well in terms of this program. Okay. Helen asks, what other costs will have to be paid? Well, the main cost is just the platform. Okay. So now, if you opt for MemberGate, that's going to include your first year's hosting. Beyond that, it's about $30 a month. Okay, so if you go for MemberGate, there's no other costs involved. If you go for Wishlist, you're going to need to host that website. So you'll need to pay hosting, which can be about $10, $15 a month. And of course, if you do any paid advertising, like on Facebook, you'll need to have a budget for that typically $5 to $10 a day is reasonable. But of course, when you set it up right, you'll be making a lot more than that. So in terms of costs, literally for under $200, you can get started with your own membership site with everything you need. There is not significant ongoing costs. It's very minimal, like just the hosting, as I mentioned there. Let's see. Joanne says there's no agreement terms on the site to agree to. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Joanne. Could you be a little bit more specific? I think I know what you mean. On the order form, there's no small print. It's basically just saying by putting your initials in that box, all you're agreeing to is to pay the fee. That's it. Everything that you see on the page is what you're agreeing to, which is that you either agree to pay in full or you agree to the 3 payment option. That's it. There's no small print. Not trying to, I have a very good reputation, so there's nothing to worry about. That's it. Very simple, straightforward. So Mark said, can you clarify that the $3,995 for MemberGate will be discounted by your $1,490 training cost? Yes. So I can't tell you until you're a member exactly what your discount will be if you choose MemberGate, but I can tell you that it will cover the cost of your training, the discount that you'll get with MemberGate. So very significant benefit. There's also other benefits that I can't share with you publicly, like I say, because MemberGate and Wishlist, they do not discount their price. You won't find coupon codes or anything like that online. They are both very reliable, well-reviewed, very popular. So you can't go wrong with either of them. Joanne asks, is it a secure payment method? Yes, it is. Any other questions? Mark says, which is better for business training website, Wishlist or MemberGate? The niche or the topic doesn't matter. It really just depends on a number of factors. First of all, if you're already very proficient with WordPress, then Wishlist is a good option, inexpensive if you're willing to do the design yourself. Okay. With MemberGate, like I said, everything's built in and they do the design. So it is faster to get going with MemberGate. Wishlist, it's going to take you longer to create what needs to be created and to install the system. With MemberGate, there's nothing like that to do because everything's done for you with the installation and the design of the site. That's why it's a premium service. It's an all-in-one package, including the design of the site and the installation and the hosting. Everything's set up for you, ready for you to load your content. That's the biggest difference between the two, okay? If you have any other questions, do type them in the box on the right-hand side. Joanne asks, how often do you need to keep updating the site to keep the interest going? I recommend adding 3 or 4 new pieces of content a month once your site is established. Obviously, to begin with, you need a chunk of content in there so that your members feel like they're getting value, and the forums can help provide value too over time. And then I recommend adding 3 or 4 pieces of content a month, which, using the methods that I showed you of leveraging other people's content. So what I always tell people is, if you love to write, then write. If you hate writing, then get someone else to write, or get articles from sites like eZine Articles and Article Directory. So whatever you enjoy doing, do that. And if you're passionate about the topic, it really is a fun business to do, and the icing on the cake, the very big icing, is the fact that you get paid over and over and over again for that, for the main work that you did right at the start. Another question here, how do your customers trust your content rather than searching themselves online? Well, interestingly, the mere fact that you charge to become a member, people automatically assume, there's a certain psychology there. They assume that you're going to be giving something valuable because you're charging for it. And the truth is, when it comes to things like the forums, when you charge for something, you do get a much higher caliber of interaction. So whereas on public forums, there's a lot of backbiting and negativity and bad language and so on, there's a dramatic shift that happens when someone pays to be a member. Suddenly they become well behaved. They want to help each other. It's a really interesting phenomenon. And so I've never had anybody question the content that I've put out for those reasons. They just accept that you've done the filtering process for them, which you have. Would it be possible for them to do the same thing? Yeah, but most people just don't want to spend the time. They're happy to pay for someone else to do that. And just, time is money. That's why people or certain people will join a membership site. If you're not what you would consider to be an expert on the subject, it really doesn't matter. I have many friends who run membership sites on topics that they are not experts in. They've become knowledgeable, but the only thing that you need is passion. Because guess what? It is largely a research process. So if you're passionate about the topic and you're willing to put in the time to research, then that's all you need. You do not need to be an expert in the topic. No one's going to question that. I have many friends who run sites on topics that they're passionate about, but they're not experts in those sites. No one has ever questioned their right to run a membership site. So just like anybody can start an association, or anything like that, there's no requirement. So that's a mental block. If you're thinking that, then that's something you need to overcome. Okay, the Joanne asks, why does the page say 8 places available and not 24? That's because it's being updated. So it means there's 8 places left. So as new people sign up, then the number goes down. So that's why there's 8 right now as we speak in real time. Any other questions? Thanks for your questions, Joanne. You had some good ones there. So again, go to membershipcourse.com and be one of those last 8 people to join us. Beverly asks, what is the average subscription fee per month? It really covers the broad range, Beverly. Excuse me. As I showed you at the start, there's sites that charge anywhere from $10 up to $500 a month. I have some friends in the stock investing industry. They run a membership site where they have different levels. One of them levels is $500 a month. So it's everywhere in between. Consumer-based topics tend to be the lower end of that range, and business topics, because people can make money from those topics, like the restaurant owner site.com or contractor selling.com. Those will be premium because they're helping people to make money with a business. So that's a general guideline, but I'll show you in the course how to research what other people are charging and how to base your pricing off of that. Okay, we do have the giveaway to take care of too. And one thing that I'd like to invite you to do, which would be very helpful to me, is I am looking for feedback. It's important for me to know that I did a good job for you today. And so I'd like to know perhaps what your aha moments were and whether you feel this webinar has got you excited about the possibilities with membership sites. So if you would just take a moment to write something in the chat box on the right-hand side. And that also lets me know who is still live with us on the webinar. So I'll just give you a moment to do that before we do the draw. So let me know if you had an aha moment or what particularly got you excited. And like I say, then we'll do the draw. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the responses to come in. So as you type a comment to let me know you're still here, Mal asked, is it okay to start a site for free so more people can join and then after some time start charging? Yes, it is, absolutely. And that's quite a common strategy. Okay, good. I appreciate those comments. I'm glad that I was able to make it straightforward for you to understand. That's one of the things that I really strive for in these presentations, is to make it simple. And you know, a lot of these topics can be over complicated, but simplicity is on the far side of complexity. So you have to understand the complex things in order to simplify it. That's always my aim in doing these presentations for you. Okay, I'm going to close down the comments. I'm going to count you down to give everybody a fair shot at winning this fantastic prize. So I'll count down now. Last opportunity to add your comment so I know that you're still with us. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thanks for your adding those comments in there. And now I'm going to draw someone at random here to be the prize winner. And this, by the way, if you're not familiar with these JBL speakers, it's a Bluetooth speaker, so you can run it with the phone or iPod or portable device. You can also plug a music device into it. The sound is phenomenal. It's incredible for such a small device. They are the best portable speakers on the market, in my opinion. I love them. I travel with one, take it with me in hotel rooms and so on. The sound is incredible. You're going to love this. Okay. So our winner for today's webinar, thank you for staying to the end, by the way, is, let me do the drum roll here for you. Okay, today's winner is Beverly. So congratulations, Beverly. And if you can email me at andrew@helpmybusiness.com with your mailing address, then we'll get that sent right out to you. So congratulations, Beverly. Again, send me an email to andrew@helpmybusiness.com and we'll get that sent out to you. Congratulations, you're going to love it. There's still a few spots left for out of the 24 to join me over this program, which I help you personally with. Membershipcourse.com is the site to go to. If you're still on the fence, don't wait too long, but make sure that you write down that website, membershipcourse.com, because after this webinar finishes, then of course you won't be able to access you may forget the name of the site, which has happened more often than you would think. It happens actually on every webinar. I get emails. What was the name of that site again? All right, membershipcourse.com. That's one of the reasons I've repeated it over and over again. So thank you to Mark for hosting this event. I always enjoy sharing this topic. It's one that's changed my life. I hope you can sense my passion and my strong desire to help you to do the same. Look forward to working with you, those of you that have signed up. And for now, we'll leave it at that. Appreciate you being here. And I hope that whatever happens, you are able to take some action to start your own membership site, because it is a fantastic way to get this reliable recurring income. My name is Andrew Locke. You can watch my web TV show for free at helpmybusiness.com. And just remains for me to say bye for now. Thanks a lot. Bye.